Hey everyone, welcome back to Body Bags. What I got for you tonight is a review of the movie Rippy. This is a 2024 Australian film. It was originally released as The Red, which is honestly a much better title, but, is what it is. Basic plot of this film, it follows this girl. She's a police officer. Her father was a police officer as well, and he, died, so she's wanting to, live up to, his memory or whatever. In the meantime, there is a zombie kangaroo. Let that sink in for a second. Yes, a zombie kangaroo. Now, your first thought is, it's a kangaroo, it's a zombie. How much of a threat is this really? But then when you actually think about it, and you actually, if you go on to, Google and just type in, ripped kangaroo, those things can be goddamn terrifying. And then if you think of that, and then you think it's undead and you can't kill it. Just saying. This movie is exactly what you think it is. It got some... let's say this. There's some decent gore, but not very any real good kills. Because pretty much all of the deaths or whatever happen off screen. We just see the aftermath, which is effective. Don't get me wrong. It is effective, but at the same time, it would have been cool to have seen some of these kills. You see a couple of them, but they're kind of hampered by... I'm not even going to say bad CG, because the CG, honestly, is pretty decent throughout. There's a few scenes that are a little iffy. There's this scene with, there's a tent, and there's blood splattered on the tent, and, I don't know when they filmed this, whether they put the blood on they splattered on, but it looks like CG blood overlaid on top of the tent. It's a little weird. It's weird. That's something that this movie did definitely is the case. Weird. That's the word to use, because there's scenes in here where it's obviously practical effects. And then there's some scenes in the same scene with what looks to be computer generated. Now, I could be wrong. It could be practical effects. I don't know. But there's a few scenes where there's kind of this back and forth between it, and it seems like, oh, that looks good. That, not so much. That looks good. Well, I don't know about that. It is what it is, right? This movie's entertaining. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a fun movie? Yes, it is. I had a blast watching this. I'm not gonna pretend that it's gonna win awards to be the greatest Australian horror movie ever made. Probably not. But it's a fun little creature feature. Are there ways it could have been made better? Yes, definitely. There's this one scene, this cop pulls up and he gets out of the car, and the undead kangaroo appears and kills him, but it's he turns and he looks up. You don't actually see the kangaroo until after. It's it would have been so much better if he'd just been looking, and I don't know, if something fell on his shoulder and he slowly turned and you saw it looming over him. Just a few shots like that. I get the feeling it was budget related. It was just purely, we have X amount of dollars, we can do X amount of shots of this kangaroo. We need to get the main shots, So I think probably if someone had tacked on, I don't know. I don't know what the budget of this was. Tack on maybe like another 100,000 or something, and just you know go a bit further with the zombie kangaroo. I think it would be a really good film. This is the definition of like Midnight Madness type movies. This is one I could see, like, if I don't know if this is at a theatrical release, I have no clue. But I could see this showing in like midnight showings and people going and having a blast and like people like speaking back to the screen. The whole Rocky Horror type thing I could see going on with this. And all in all, it is what it is. It's fun. It's a blast. It's a creature feature. But it's not rewriting the books. For a rating, what do I give this? You know what? I give this a 7 out of 10. It's quite solid. It's not perfect, like I said. There is room for improvement, but all in all, it's a good time. So there you go, Rippy, aka The Red, which is that's such a better title. Why did you call it Rippy? I don't know. Literally, there's one scene in the movie. Like, this guy's like, oh, it's this giant kangaroo. I called it Rippy. And it's like, that's the only scene that word ever comes up. It makes no sense, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.